Hello everyone, this is Lincoln Prime, and today we are taking a look at the Jurassic Park Legacy Collection Kitchen Encounter Pack. This is one of the new sets that Mattel has recently come out with to hype up the release for Jurassic World Dominion. I just gotta say, I'm really glad that they made this set. A few things before going into this review. I would like to mention that I do not have the box on me at the moment, and this did come with a backdrop, but I don't have that with me as well. So instead, here's just a picture of it, what it looks like. But anyways, let us move right along into the review. And I do want to start off by showing off the Tim figure. Now, this is pretty much the same exact Tim figure that we got in the T-Rex Escape Pack, so there's really not much new here. The only difference is that he has a bunch of like dirt and scuffs and all that kind of stuff on him, so that's really the only major difference. But here we have him next to the T-Rex Escape Pack Tim, and they're very much just the same figure. And I'm just going to take this off, but yeah, same figure. There's really not much of a difference except for just, you know, the extra paint detail, like the muddy kind of detail on this figure. So there's not really much going on here in terms of difference. It's pretty much the same articulation, you know, but head can swivel, arms can go all the way around, move out and like in and out like that. Legs can move up, down, and a knee bend and a swivel at the knee. So really nothing new here. Now we do get the Lex figure, and this is the first one that we've gotten from Mattel so far, and gotta say a lot of people were excited for this release. Me personally, I don't really care. But it's a good inclusion, so I'm glad that this is probably one of the first Lex figures that we've gotten. But there is some nice painted detail on the figure. They did use the photoreal technology for the face, which did come up pretty decently. The hair, on the other hand, is kind of messily painted. They kind of missed the mark on certain areas, especially like right here on the front, so not the best in terms of paint on the hair. But everything else does look pretty decently, and she does have that same kind of scuffage and mud detail that the Tim figure has. But I'm kind of glad that these two did come in the set, and it would not be the Kitchen Encounter Pack without these two, so yeah. One of the accessories that we do get is this frying pan, and yeah, it's a frying pan, so. Another thing I should mention before I forget, but Lex just does have the same articulation that Tim has, so nothing new there. And now to talk about the Velociraptor. I would like to mention that this is pretty much the same kind of Velociraptor that we do get most of the time, and the blue figure that I reviewed recently is pretty much the same exact figure as this. The only difference is being paint. Just for a reference, here's the blue figure that I reviewed. They're the same exact sculpt and mold, so there's really not much new going on here, although I'm pretty sure that this figure may have came out before this one, but I don't really know. However, I will say that I still really do like the sculpt on these kinds of Velociraptor figures. When it comes to the kind of leathery, scaly detail around the figure, it does look very nice. And when it comes to the paint, I really like how the paint came out on this figure. And one thing that I also like is that they did paint the toenails on this figure. Quite messily though, I will say, because it did kind of get splotched on certain areas, like there, even there. So not the best in terms of paint when it comes to how clean it is, but that's fine. We didn't get it on the fingernails though, so that kind of sucks, but I guess that's whatever. But overall, the paint that is there does look very nice. The brown, kind of the greenish brown, does look pretty good. The yellow on the belly is a lot better than it is on the blue figure. The mouth, on the other hand, doesn't really blend well with the other colors. It just kind of skips. It just kind of goes into that, and it just it doesn't really look too good. The green in the eyes though, it's not entirely accurate, but I really like that metallic green. It doesn't exactly go very well onto the rest of the eye, but on the other eye it is also the same thing. So when it comes to paint, I'm not gonna lie, they really missed the mark in certain things when it comes to applying it well. The paint is good, it's just the paint job isn't great. But what else is there is, you know, the brown on the top and all that kind of stuff. That looks great. And then there's this area right here where the brown just kind of stops, just kind of goes there and it stops, and yeah. We do get a bunch of weird black specks, which, it's detail, so I'll give it that. So that does, I guess, look pretty decent. Now, when it comes to the inside of the mouth, it does look pretty decent, but I will say the teeth are also kind of scuffed. Not much, There is just a little bit of scuffage right there. And then you get to here, and then it's just messy. It's like SH Monster Art's teeth flashback. It's just, oh boy, it just kind of leaks and seeps onto the roof of the mouth, and it's just not the best. The pink, however, on the tongue and the membranes does look pretty nice, although another thing is it kind of just fades and turns into the brown, and it's like, oh my god. I don't hate it, I just don't like the paint job per se. They could have done a little bit better. At the same time, though, if this was by itself, it would be a $7 figure, so I wouldn't really complain in that aspect. But the set itself was $20 because of the other two figures. So because of that, I am kind of complaining. But yeah, overall, it's okay. From afar, you know, you wouldn't really notice those mistakes, but it's just something that I really wish they could have done something with a little bit more, but like I said, not a huge deal. Articulation, we do get a hinge joint at the jaw, which I did show earlier, so we can open that far and close that much. Can look up and down about that much. Does have a hinge system right in here. Head can rotate all the way around. Arms can also rotate all the way around, mostly, not really. I wouldn't recommend doing that on both sides. And the legs can also rotate on both sides, and they do kind of have that soft ratchet system that I was talking about in my last review. And then the tail does rotate all the way around. However, it is a bit tighter than usual, but yeah, so that's pretty much articulation. It's basic, but it does what it needs to. And how can I forget, it has this part right here which you can scan for the mobile game, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so overall it's a 50-50 figure in my opinion. Not the greatest, but not the worst. So I still really like it, just paint could have been way better on their part, but still a decent figure. Overall, my final comments on this 3-pack is that I still really like that they made it, but it does feel kind of lackluster in some places. I don't hate it, like I said, but it could have been better. Now, when it comes to the price, this set itself was $20. Do I think that do I think that the $20 is good? No, personally not. I feel like it would have been better if they included maybe just a little bit more, or maybe if Mattel was thinking that the backdrop was going to bulk up the price by a few bucks. And if that's the case, that's kind of BS in my opinion. Overall, this set in itself, I feel like $15 is a good, like $15, $17 would be a good price point, because $20 just feels a little bit overkill in my opinion. I still like this set, it'll look great on display, but that's really about it. It'll look good on display. Do I really care about the Tim figure and the Lex figure? When it comes to making and recreating the scene, yeah, it looks good, but the Velociraptor figure is really the only thing that I care about the most. And one other thing that I would probably like to mention, I feel like we should have gotten 2 Velociraptor figures instead of just 1. Is it the biggest deal? Not really, but I feel like I maybe would have gotten more so my money's worth at a $20 price point with 2 Velociraptor figures, but for now, the HC boy will have to do. But what makes it worth it is at least I can now do this, and I think this looks great. Honestly though, it'll probably look better with the HC T-Rex and another HC Velociraptor, but that's just me. Overall, just glad that I have this and glad that I can do this. But anyways guys, that is about it for the review. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.